Okay, so get this. We're diving deep into fasting today,
Ooh, fun.
but specifically how it might impact your body's ability to like regenerate,
Okay.
especially when it comes to your immune system and even your cartilage.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, we've got some fascinating research to unpack today,
Okay.
including a study from USC that like really shook things up.
All right, let's hear it.
So let's
Yeah.
jump right in.
Let's jump in.
So this USC study
Yeah.
looked at what happens when people do cycles of prolonged fasting.
Okay.
We're talking 2 to 4 days at a time over 6 months.
Yeah, that's a significant amount of time.
It is.
Yeah.
And they found something really surprising.
Okay.
A dramatic drop in white blood cell counts
Oh, wow.
in both mice and humans.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that sounds a little scary at first.
Right, because you think,
Yeah.
isn't a strong immune system all about having lots of white blood cells
Right, exactly.
ready to fight off invaders?
Like an army ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this study suggests something different is happening.
Okay.
It's like fasting triggers a system reboot.
Yeah.
Your body starts conserving energy by recycling old, damaged immune cells,
Uh-huh.
clearing the way for fresh new ones.
So it's not weakening the immune system, it's actually making it stronger in the long run.
Exactly.
Kind of like how sometimes you have to tear down old structures to
Yeah.
build something new and improved.
It's a really great analogy.
Yeah.
It's like hitting the reset button on your immune system.
Okay.
And this could have huge implications for things like healthier aging,
Wow.
bouncing back from chemotherapy, and even managing autoimmune disorders.
Now that's what I call a deep dive discovery.
Absolutely.
But how does fasting actually make this happen?
Yeah.
What's going on at the cellular level?
So it all starts with these incredible cells called hematopoietic stem cells.
Oh, okay.
They're like the masterminds behind your entire blood and immune system,
Wow.
constantly producing new cells to keep things running smoothly. What this study found is that fasting essentially activates these stem cells,
Huh.
putting them into overdrive to churn out fresh new immune cells.
So fasting is like setting a wake-up call to these stem cells.
Yes, exactly.
But what's actually flipping that switch?
So it turns out that fasting reduces the activity of an enzyme called PKA.
PKA.
Yeah, PKA has been linked to stem cell activity in other research.
Okay.
And it seems like lowering its activity might be key to allowing those stem cells to kick into regeneration mode.
So less PKA, more regeneration.
That's it.
Got it. Is there anything else at play here?
Yeah, so there's also IGF-1,
Okay.
a growth hormone that's been connected to aging and even cancer risk.
Oh, wow.
Fasting lowers IGF-1 levels, which might be creating an even better environment for
Yeah.
this whole rejuvenation process.
So by lowering PKA and IGF-1,
Yeah.
fasting might be helping you tap into your body's natural repair mechanisms.
Yeah.
Kind of like turning back the clock on your immune system.
Yeah, I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It's like giving your body the resources it needs to rebuild and renew itself.
I like it.
And speaking of rebuilding,
Okay.
there's another exciting area where fasting might play a role.
Okay.
Cartilage health.
Cartilage. Now, that's a surprise.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought there'd be a connection between fasting and your joints.
Right. It's still an emerging area of research,
Okay.
but what we're seeing so far is pretty intriguing.
Okay.
So for one thing, fasting often leads to weight loss,
Okay.
which can significantly reduce the stress on your joints.
Makes sense.
This is particularly beneficial for those dealing with cartilage issues,
Yeah.
as it can alleviate pain and potentially slow down further damage.
Less wear and tear.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But are there other ways fasting might impact cartilage health
Yeah.
beyond just weight loss?
There are a few promising leads.
Yeah.
Research has shown that fasting can improve fat metabolism.
Okay.
And interestingly, the severity of some cartilage problems is actually linked to issues with fat metabolism.
So by improving how your body handles fats,
Yes.
fasting could indirectly be helping to support healthier cartilage.
Exactly.
That's fascinating.
It is. And then there's this process called autophagy, which is like your cell's internal cleaning crew.
Okay, break that down for now.
Sure.
What exactly is autophagy?
Right.
And how does it relate to cartilage?
Imagine your cells have these little recycling centers called lysosomes.
Okay.
They're responsible for breaking down and getting rid of damaged components within the cell.
Uh-huh.
Autophagy is basically the process of those lysosomes getting to work, clearing out all the cellular junk.
So it's like a mini detox happening inside each of your cells.
Exactly.
Okay.
And what's really interesting is that there are some early indications that fasting might be able to boost autophagy,
Mm-hmm.
which could have implications for repairing damaged cartilage cells.
So potentially fasting could not only help prevent further damage to cartilage by promoting weight loss and improving fat metabolism,
Right.
but also stimulate the repair of existing damage through this autophagy process.
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that the research on fasting and cartilage is still in its early stages.
Right.
We need more studies to fully understand the connection
Yeah.
and how to best harness its potential.
Makes sense.
But the initial findings are definitely exciting.
I'm already starting to see fasting in a whole new light.
Me too. It's really fascinating.
Now, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
I'm curious about the different approaches to fasting.
Sure.
Is it always about these multi-day fasts?
Right.
Or are there other ways to tap into these potential benefits?
That's a great question.
Mm.
There are actually several different ways to incorporate fasting into your life.
Okay.
And they don't all involve going days without food. You've got intermittent fasting,
Right.
which is all about cycling between periods of eating and fasting, often on a daily or weekly schedule.
Okay.
And then there are traditions like Islamic fasting, which involve abstaining from food and drink from dawn until sunset.
So are we seeing any connections between these other types of fasting and the benefits we've been discussing?
Right.
Like immune regeneration and cartilage health?
While more research is needed to understand the specific effects of each approach,
Okay.
both intermittent fasting and Islamic fasting have been linked to various health benefits.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be surprising to see them positively impact cartilage health as well.
Well, this has been eye-opening.
It has been.
We've learned about how prolonged fasting can potentially trigger immune system regeneration,
Yeah.
protect against chemotherapy damage,
Right.
maybe even play a role in cartilage health.
Pretty amazing stuff.
It's amazing to think that something as simple as changing when and how you eat
Right.
could have such profound effects on your body.
It really speaks to the incredible power our bodies have to heal and renew themselves.
Yeah.
And fasting might just be the key to unlocking that potential.
I'm already feeling inspired to make some changes to my own lifestyle.
I hear you.
But before we get carried away, let's delve a little deeper into some of the practical considerations.
Yeah, good idea.
And potential risks associated with fasting. Stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive. Welcome back to our deep dive into the fascinating world of fasting.
Yeah, it's amazing what we're learning about the body's ability to, heal and regenerate, isn't it?
It really is. Last time we were talking about the potential benefits of fasting for things like
Right.
boosting your immune system and even
Yeah.
supporting cartilage health.
Uh-huh.
But before anyone rushes off to start a fast,
Right.
we need to talk about some of the practical considerations
Yeah.
and potential downsides, right?
Absolutely. Fasting, especially prolonged fasting, is not something to jump into without careful consideration.
Yeah.
There are definitely some things to be aware of.
So let's talk safety first.
Okay.
What are the biggest things people need to keep in mind if they're thinking about trying fasting?
I think the most important thing is to talk to your doctor
Okay.
before making any major changes to your diet, especially if you have any underlying health conditions.
Okay.
Fasting can interact with certain medications or
right.
potentially worsen existing conditions.
Yeah.
So getting guidance from your healthcare provider is crucial.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's like with any powerful tool,
Right.
you have to know how to use it safely.
Exactly.
What about the experience of fasting itself?
Yeah.
It sounds like it could be pretty challenging,
It can be.
both physically and mentally.
Yeah, physically, you might experience things like hunger pangs,
Yeah.
headaches, fatigue, even dizziness,
Mm.
especially in the beginning,
Yeah.
as your body adjusts to this new way of fueling itself.
And I imagine it takes a lot of discipline and willpower to stick to a fasting regimen,
Absolutely.
especially those longer fasts where you're going multiple days without food.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's important to listen to your body and not push yourself too hard if you're feeling really unwell.
Okay.
It's okay to break the fast and try again another time
Yeah.
when you're feeling stronger and more prepared.
That's a good reminder. It's not about punishing yourself.
No.
It's about finding what works best for your body.
Exactly.
You mentioned earlier that there are different approaches to fasting.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate on that a bit?
Of course. You don't necessarily have to go all in on a multi-day fast right away.
Okay.
Intermittent fasting with its shorter fasting windows
Mm-hmm.
can be a gentler way to get started and see how your body responds.
Okay.
It's all about finding a sustainable approach that fits your lifestyle.
So we've covered the potential benefits
Yeah.
and some of the challenges,
Right.
but are there any actual risks
Yes.
associated with fasting that people should be aware of?
There are a few things to watch out for. Dehydration is a big one.
Okay.
especially during prolonged fasts. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Or other calorie-free beverages to stay hydrated. Electrolyte imbalances can also be a concern,
Okay.
so you might want to consider supplementing with electrolytes under the guidance of your healthcare provider.
Got it. Hydration and electrolytes are key. Anything else to be mindful of?
For women, especially those who are pregnant, breastfeeding, or struggling with hormonal imbalances,
Okay.
fasting should be approached with extra caution. It's really important to work closely with a doctor
Yeah.
to ensure it's safe and appropriate for you.
Yeah.
And, of course, if you ever experience any severe or concerning symptoms while fasting,
Okay.
don't hesitate to seek medical attention immediately.
Solid advice. Safety always comes first.
Absolutely.
Now, I want to shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about the future of all this. We've seen some amazing results in the research so far,
We have.
both in animal studies and early human trials.
Yeah.
Where do you see this research headed in the next few years?
Well, it's a really exciting time for research on fasting and regeneration. Scientists are working hard to unravel the precise mechanisms by which fasting triggers these incredible changes in the body.
Yeah.
We're learning more about how different hormones are regulated,
Okay.
how those hematopoietic stem cells are activated, and how cellular processes like autophagy are involved.
I'm particularly fascinated by the potential for fasting to support tissue repair.
Yeah.
We talked about cartilage earlier.
Right.
But are there other areas of the body where fasting might be beneficial for regeneration?
Oh, there's definitely a lot of interest in exploring how fasting might impact other tissues and organs.
Okay.
Researchers are looking into its potential role in everything from muscle repair to nerve regeneration.
Wow.
And some are even investigating whether fasting could help protect against neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's.
Wow, that's incredible. Imagine a world where we could potentially slow down or even reverse the damage
I know.
caused by those kinds of diseases.
It's still early days, and we need a lot more research before we can make any definitive claims. But the possibilities are truly mind-boggling.
Yeah.
We're starting to understand that our bodies have this incredible inbuilt capacity for self-healing.
Yeah.
And fasting might be one of the keys to tapping into that potential.
Now let's bring it back to those stem cells we were discussing earlier.
Okay.
Can you tell us a bit more about the current state of stem cell research
Sure.
and how it intersects with the research on fasting?
So stem cell research is absolutely exploding right now,
Yeah.
and it's very closely connected to the work being done on fasting.
Okay.
Remember those hematopoietic stem cells we talked about?
Yeah.
Are responsible for generating all of our blood and immune cells?
Right.
Well, scientists are now exploring ways to use these stem cells to treat a wide range of diseases,
Okay.
from blood cancers to autoimmune disorders.
So could we potentially use fasting to boost the effectiveness of stem cell therapies?
Potentially.
Or even use stem cells to enhance the regenerative effects of fasting?
Those are the million-dollar questions. And researchers are actively investigating them right now.
Wow.
Imagine a future where we could combine the power of fasting to activate stem cells
Yeah.
with the precision of targeted stem cell therapies.
Yeah.
It could be a revolutionary approach to treating diseases and promoting healing
Right.
in ways we haven't even imagined yet.
It's like something out of science fiction.
Oh, no, it's amazing.
Okay, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want to circle back to something else we touched on earlier, autophagy.
Ah, yes.
Hmm.
Our cellular cleaning crew.
Yeah.
It's such a fascinating process that plays a crucial role in keeping our bodies healthy.
Exactly. We talked about how fasting might be able to boost autophagy.
Right.
But I want to dig a little deeper into how this process actually works.
Okay.
What's going on inside our cells when autophagy kicks in?
So imagine your cells have these little recycling centers called lysosomes.
Right.
And when autophagy is activated, these lysosomes spring into action.
Okay.
They start gathering up all the damaged proteins and organelles within the cell,
Mm-hmm.
essentially cleaning up the cellular junk.
So it's like a mini garbage disposal system for our cells.
That's a great analogy.
Oh, okay.
And once the lysosomes have collected all this cellular debris,
Yeah.
they break it down and recycle the components, providing the cell with the building blocks for new proteins and organelles.
So not only does autophagy get rid of the damaged stuff,
Yeah.
but it also provides the raw materials for building new healthy cell parts.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
It's an incredibly efficient system, and it's essential for maintaining cellular health, especially as we age.
right.
As we get older, our cells naturally become less efficient at clearing out the cellular junk,
Yeah.
which can contribute to a whole host of age-related diseases.
Right.
That's one of the reasons why researchers are so excited about the potential of fasting to boost autophagy. It could be a way to help our cells stay healthy and functional for longer.
I'm starting to see how fasting, stem cells, and autophagy are all interconnected
Yes.
in this amazing web of regeneration and healing.
It really is a remarkable system.
Yeah.
And we're only just beginning to scratch the surface of its potential.
Yeah.
But what's clear is that our bodies have this incredible capacity for self-renewal. And fasting might be one of the most powerful tools we have for tapping into that innate healing power.
Well said. We've covered a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive.
We have.
Exploring the practicalities of fasting,
No.
discussing the potential risks and benefits,
Yeah.
and delving into the exciting worlds of stem cell research and autophagy. But there's still so much more to discover.
Absolutely. Stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive, where we'll take a closer look at the future of fasting
Okay.
and explore some of the most promising avenues for research and development.
All right, welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into fasting and regeneration. It's been quite a journey so far.
It really has. We've explored some fascinating territory,
We have.
from the science behind immune system rejuvenation to the intricate world of cellular repair.
And we even got a glimpse into the potential of fasting to support cartilage health,
Right.
which was a surprise for me.
Yeah, definitely a connection that many people aren't aware of. But that's the beauty of these deep dives.
Yeah.
We uncover those hidden gems of knowledge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now that we've laid the groundwork, I want to look ahead. What does the future hold for fasting and regeneration?
Okay.
What kind of breakthroughs are on the horizon?
That's where things get really interesting. One area that's generating a lot of excitement is the development of personalized fasting regimens.
Okay.
Imagine a future where your doctor can analyze your individual needs, your genetics, even your gut microbiome to create a fasting plan that's tailored just for you.
That's incredible. It would be like having a custom-made blueprint for optimizing your health through fasting.
Exactly. And we're already seeing the early stages of this personalized approach. Researchers are developing sophisticated algorithms and wearable technology that can track how your body responds to fasting in real time. This data can then be used to fine-tune your fasting plan, making it even more effective.
So it's like having a personal fasting coach right on your wrist, guiding you toward your health goals. That's amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
And beyond personalized fasting, there's another innovation that's gaining traction.
Okay.
Fasting mimicking diets.
Fasting mimicking diets.
These are carefully designed dietary plans that provide the same cellular and metabolic benefits of fasting without requiring complete abstinence from food.
Wait, so you're telling me you could potentially get the benefits of fasting without actually having to fast?
I know, right?
Yeah.
It sounds counterintuitive, but the science behind it is quite compelling.
Okay.
These diets typically involve a significant reduction in calorie intake, along with a focus on specific nutrients that mimic the metabolic shifts that occur during fasting. Essentially, you're tricking your body into thinking it's in a fasted state,
Yeah.
triggering those beneficial cellular processes.
So it's not just about cutting calories, it's about strategically choosing the right types of food to create that fasting-like environment within the body.
That's fascinating.
It is. And the early research on fasting mimicking diets is very promising,
Okay.
suggesting they could offer many of the same benefits as traditional fasting, but with potentially greater accessibility and ease of adherence.
This is all so exciting.
It is.
But with all this focus on the science and technology,
Right.
it's important to remember that fasting isn't just a biological phenomenon. It has a rich history and cultural significance as well.
Absolutely. Fasting has been a part of human traditions for centuries, often as a way to connect, spiritually cultivate discipline, or show gratitude.
Yeah.
In many cultures, fasting is a shared practice,
Yeah.
a way to strengthen community bonds.
That's a really important point. As we move forward with this research, we need to honor those cultural and spiritual dimensions of fasting
Yes.
and approach this topic with sensitivity and respect. I completely agree. It's about finding a balance between the scientific understanding and the deeper human connection to this ancient practice.
Now, before we wrap up this deep dive, I can't help but think about the potential ethical implications of all these discoveries.
Oh, right.
We're talking about possibly extending lifespan, boosting cognitive function, even reversing disease.
Yeah.
What kind of impact could this have on society as a whole?
That's a question we need to be asking ourselves as we venture further into this uncharted territory.
Yeah.
As we uncover the secrets of regeneration and longevity, it's crucial to have open and honest discussions about the ethical, social, and economic implications.
For example, how do we ensure equitable access to these advancements? And how do we navigate the potential for increased inequality or even social unrest if these life-altering technologies are not available to everyone?
Those are complex issues, and there are no easy answers.
Yeah.
But by engaging in thoughtful dialogue, fostering transparency, and approaching these discoveries with both enthusiasm and careful consideration, we can work towards a future where these advancements benefit all of humanity.
Well said. And it's not just about the big picture societal impact.
Right.
There are also personal and philosophical questions to consider. What does it mean to live longer, healthier lives?
Yeah.
How do we define a good life, a meaningful life in that context?
Those are questions each individual needs to explore for themselves. But I believe that by embracing curiosity, remaining open to new ideas, and approaching these advancements with a healthy dose of critical thinking,
Yeah.
we can navigate this new landscape responsibly.
Well, I think we've covered an incredible amount of ground in this deep dive. We've gone from the cellular level to the societal level.
Where you have.
And it's clear that fasting and regeneration are deeply intertwined with the very essence of what it means to be human.
It's been an incredible journey, and I hope our listeners have come away with a newfound appreciation for the incredible power our bodies possess to heal and regenerate.
Remember, this is just the beginning of the conversation. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep those minds open to the endless possibilities that science and human ingenuity can unlock. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, stay curious.